Hey everybody, Chef Eric Eisenbud here, the Grateful Chef. Welcome to the Grateful Chef Kitchen. We are back with another great recipe. Real simple, few ingredients, which I'm going to discuss in a minute. And look, we've got the wok out again. How cool is that? We're making Chinese food better than takeout. And I want to help you face your fear in making Chinese food, because once you get the ingredients, it's super easy. All the work is done in the prep. So we're going to go over our ingredients. So we are making, it's a good thing if I told you that, we are making shrimp and broccoli in black bean sauce. So a lot of times when you make Chinese food, you start out with aromatics. Now most of the time aromatics is going to be ginger and garlic minced. So they go in the wok at the same time, so I put them in the same dish. Well, I have two dishes to clean. This particular recipe has a little bit of ground pork, and a very interesting technique is that instead of stir frying the pork, or only stir frying the pork, we're actually going to boil it briefly. It's going to take some of the fat out of it. It's going to, get rid of the rawness, but then we're going to go back in and we're going to stir fry it. So we got the pork, we got our aromatics, got my water boiling for that pork. What else do we have here? We have dao chi, which is fermented black beans. These are available in every Asian market. Yeah, you can definitely get them online too. This is a fermented black bean, and what I've done is I rinsed them because they are stored in salt. So I wanted to get rid of the salt component, and this brand is really nice, plump black beans. It's going to make our sauce, or help make our sauce. This also has one beaten egg, which is lightly beaten. That's going to go in towards the end. We have another aromatic, but usually doesn't go in at the beginning. Maybe, I think this recipe it might. So this is scallion. So I got the green part, I got some of the white part, and that's going to go in. And I've got a little red bell pepper. So you do all your prep, and once you got your prep done, it goes real fast. So the broccoli I have put into florets, and I have steamed it off very briefly. You see how bright green it is? I'm going to add that in at the very end because I don't really want to cook it anymore. It's al dente. It's perfect right now. So we got that. And this is our sauce. Let me get my ingredient list because I want to tell you what's in this sauce. So in this sauce, we have some low sodium chicken stock, some oyster sauce, some dark soy sauce. That's where it gets its nice dark color. A little sesame oil, touch of sugar, and a touch of white pepper. That's all it is. Sometimes sauces will have the addition of the cornstarch in there, but this recipe calls for making a slurry. So that's just a little bit of cornstarch with a little bit of water, mix it up, and then you pour it in a little bit at a time at the end, and that's what thickens your sauce. So we've got that over here. And I'll bring my sauce over here, and then one other ingredient that requires a little bit more explanation. This is called Shaoxing wine. And there is a thing called wok hai, and that is a flavor. It translates to the breath of the wok. Now, when you're cooking in a Chinese restaurant and you have all those BTUs, you get the breath of the wok from that. One of the methods of getting some of that at home is to drizzle some Shaoxing wine around the hot edges of the pan, and what happens is it hits the wok and it evaporates, and that gives it more of that wok hai smoky flavor. So we're going to do that technique as well. All right, so let's go over to the stove. Lynn's going to bring us, Lynn, camera woman, producer, and the wind beneath my wings. And you can see here in my beautiful wok, I have the water boiling. Let me just bring my recipe up. Let's get that going. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to stir in the ground pork. I'm going to grab my cooking chopsticks to do that. All right, so I've got the ground pork. I've got the boiling water. We're just going to put it in. We're going to break it up. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. And we really just want to stir it up, let it separate. You really want it in small pieces. And again, so you can see some of the impurities from the pork coming out and it's floating on top of the water. There we go. I don't want too big chunks, so I'm just making sure there's no big pieces in there. Great. And that is done. Cook the rawness out. You've got the impurities floating on top. And I'm going to just take it out. Put it in my dish. I'm going to get rid of the heat because we don't need it anymore. Now, could you just take the pork and stir fry it? You certainly can, but you know, I saw this as part of a recipe and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this technique just to see what it gets us. Always experimenting in the kitchen. I encourage you to do the same. You like a particular cuisine, dive in. All right, so we've got our pork. I'm going to dump our water out. Don't need that anymore. Gonna equip white. All right, now we're going for some heat. Really want to just go on medium heat. You don't really need to do a major stir fry. We're going to give that a second to heat up. I'm going to put it on high now just to get it heated up quicker. We get a little oil. Here I'm using avocado oil just because it's a healthy oil and it's a high heat oil, so it can withstand a high temperature. And the first thing we're going to put in is going to be our aromatics, and so the ginger, bell pepper, the black beans are going in, and the ground pork. So everything's going to go into the pool just like that. Okay, I like to go around, kind of seasons the wok, nice and smoking. And in we go. Garlic and ginger, red bell pepper, black beans, and we're going to just give that an sorry guys, and the pork. Get nice color on there. You can see the black beans are already starting to color the dish, and all that flavor is going into that oil. And let's not forget the main ingredient, our prawns. I've got a dozen large, the easy peels that I get at Costco. Great shrimp for all different things. You want to do shrimp cocktail, these are awesome. All right, so we got all that in there. You can see the peppers still have some of their color. Let me make sure we're on the right track here. I'm adding the shrimp. And this is where we are going to do our Shaoxing wine. So you see that steam that's coming up off of that? From the Shaoxing wine, that's exactly what you want. It smells great. Nice little stir fry. Let those shrimp get some color. Beautiful. One more Okay, those shrimp are almost ready already. You can see they've curled up. They've got their pink color on there. I flipped them over. Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to stir our sauce. Make sure everything's combined, and in goes the sauce. We're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to throw in our scallions and let that come to a boil. Will happen pretty quick on here. So you can see our sauce is very thin, but that's why we're using the cornstarch slurry, and that is going to thicken that sauce. Nice, beautiful. Next thing I'm going to add is an egg, which is an interesting technique in and of itself, because I'm going to put the egg right on top of the sauce, and then let it set a little bit, and then mix it in. We're going to throw in our broccoli, and that is it. Once this comes to a boil, you're going to go for your slurry. Now this is a cornstarch and water mixture. Best way to mix it is with your finger, because it does settle into the bottom. And once this touches boiling, once this gets boiling, that's when it'll thicken on contact. So you want to just be real careful. So I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to put a little in, I'm going to stir. And you'll see, like magic, this sauce is going to thicken. You can see it already. Want a little bit more? Put a little bit more in. I think that's probably going to be it. Because you don't want a gloppy sauce. You know, sometimes you have a gloppy sauce. We don't like that. Okay, now I'm going to pour my egg right in. Going to let that set a little bit. This looks fantastic. So look at the thickness of the sauce. Nice and thick. We're going to break that egg up. You can see you got ribbons. It's exactly what you want. Finally, I'm going to put in my broccoli and just coat it and warm it through. And we are done with this gorgeous shrimp and black bean sauce. Just want to warm that broccoli through. We're going to take it over to the cutting board. We're going to plate it up. Here we go. A beautiful Chinese plate. Look at that. I cannot wait to eat this. Now, if you want, you could have some sliced scallion, put it on top, but there really is no need. This is a great, super quick dish. Prep is quick, and so is the cooking of it, obviously. So anyway, one more great Chinese dish here from the Grateful Chef Kitchen. If you want to see more of me, go to www.eatingwithcheferic.com. And also, 2 places on Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I have a group, The Grateful Chef with Eric Eisenbud, and I have a page, Grateful Chef with Eric Eisenbud. That's where you can find me. Hope you guys have a great night. Be well, eat well, and be kind. And we'll see you on the next Grateful Chef video. Peace.